Well, hello everyone. I'm Chris from National Parents Organization, and today I'm here with Petra Deeter, who is with Victim to Hero, and they have a really unique thing going on where they're trying to get flash mobs going. Which is, if you don't know what a flash mob is where a bunch of people kind of come together almost spontaneously and dance and gather a lot of attention, and so they're doing this to try and end parental alienation. So, Petra, thank you so much for coming on today. And what is this flash mob thing?
Chris, thank you so much for allowing me to be here and share this. It's a really exciting campaign for us. What we wanted to do is, we wanted to raise public awareness about parental alienation. It is a very serious public health problem, essentially, because it's a form of child abuse and domestic violence. And, historically, a lot of people have been trying to raise public awareness through protests or rally or demonstration and things like that. And we felt like that has a stigma, it's sort of a negative stigma. And usually people look at that as a form of sort of drama and they kind of want to stay away from it. And so we thought that we wanted to reach the public in a way that sort of touched their hearts and it's upbeat and fun and positive. And so that's why we thought we would do a flash mob. And so, like you explained, flash mob is, a group of people suddenly, without any announcement, without anything, suddenly, like, imagine if you are just somebody that's just walking about their day, in a busy shopping mall maybe, or some kind of crowded public places. Suddenly a group of people turn up and did a fun, upbeat dance, you're going to kind of pay attention. You're going to stop and you're going to probably curious enough to watch or maybe film it and post it on social media. So that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, so this is, flash mobs are, if you've never seen one in person, they're really kind of amazing to watch because you have all these people that are walking around, they look like they're just random strangers, and then all of a sudden, in an instant, they come together and they're all dancing in perfect synchrony, and it is very attention-getting. How do you, once you have the flash mob, how do people know that you're bringing attention to parental alienation?
Yeah, so we have a sign. During the flash mob, we will bring up the sign, and on the sign we have the hashtag Children First because we wanted people, when they do film this and share it on social media, they would use our hashtag because we're going to share that. And then we also have a link to our website and a QR code that for people that are watching, even if they just point the camera to it, it will take them to the website. And so we have a campaign website that we are about to launch that would explain what this campaign is about. The other thing that we thought would be hopefully when people post this, they when they post a video and they post a hashtag, it's going to kind of trigger them to see that they start to notice it's actually not just in where they are, but it's the same flash mobs, the same hashtag is happening in many other cities around the world because this is a worldwide campaign. So then hopefully it's really going to make people curious, and hopefully it's going to draw public attention, media attention, and that's our hope.
So have you done any flash mobs yet, and what's the reaction been?
Well, no, actually, I've never done a flash mob before. I have 2 left legs, so I'm really not a dancer. But this is exactly why we have a choreographer that come up with a routine that is simple enough that anybody can pick up. It's only a 1-minute routine. We have a designated official song. It's called "Putting Up a Fight." It was given to us. We're very grateful. It was given to us by a band called The Rewind, and the lyric is just perfect for what the message that we wanted to send. Actually, essentially, the lyrics say, hey, the public, like, if you are watching and you don't, it's going to be impossible for you to understand our pain, because if you haven't experienced this sadness, you haven't experienced this, then it's difficult for you to understand. But at some point, if we could all put aside our greed and and lust and just kind of do the right thing, so please allow us to do the right thing. We're going to put up a fight. We're going to fight the power, and we're going to fight for what's right. Essentially, that's the lyric. It's perfect for us. It's saying, hey, the public, pay attention, and we are going to fight for what is right. And it's upbeat and positive. Like I said, it's a simple dance. The song is 5 minutes, and we have a 1-minute routine. It's going to repeat twice, and And so we had, we have right now we have about 27 cities, and we start seeing different cities doing rehearsal. For me, it's in Los Angeles, and we have done some rehearsal, and so and it really didn't take long to learn the routine. And so far it's been fun. It's also an opportunity for the community to get together. So when we do the rehearsal, we start to get to know each other, share each other's story. So now we actually have in-person interaction. And I know that with COVID, some people are hesitating when it comes to interaction. But this is why this is outdoor. You can wear masks if you want, and it's all out in the open. So hopefully, that would make you feel a little bit safer if you have any concern about that as well.
So how long does it take to put together, a flash mob for one city? You mentioned there's over 20 cities that are preparing for this. I mean, what does it take to put one of these together?
It's actually pretty simple. We actually have instruction for anyone that's interested. Anyone can do this, and we're definitely looking for people to volunteer to have more cities. Or even if you don't want to organize a city, we're looking for participants. Whether you wanted to join as a dancer or if you just want to join to help out with other aspects, because obviously we need help in maybe we need people that film the dance routine and things like that, or you just simply want watching. So in terms of organizing, it's pretty simple. We have instruction for you for all aspects of it. We only need a group of 5 people. The more, obviously, the bigger group is the more impact. But even just 5 people is enough for this routine. So, if you can call any of your friends or people that you know, it doesn't have to be someone that have been affected by parental alienation, because we wanted to raise public awareness. So, we want everybody to be participating and get involved in some way. So, as long as you have 5 people, and even if you don't, and you wanted to do this, just let us know, because we actually have, I think on standby now we have about 300 people that waiting to join one of these groups, and so we have a form on our Facebook page where people can sign up if they wanted to participate, and then with that form they tell us where they are, and so we can actually direct more people to you if you just wanted to volunteer. But we have a designated song, like I said, and we have an instruction video to show you how to rehearse and practice this dance. Like I said, we have a song that and then also we have the information that you should put on the sign. Essentially, it's just a QR code, the hashtag Children First, and then the link to the campaign website. So it's simple. Like I said, we'll have instruction for you. And like I said, this is fun. We so for example, with Los Angeles, we had one rehearsal. We might have another one, but that's it. You only need like maybe 1 or 2 rehearsal. With the instruction video, individual can actually practice at home if they want to. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We don't expect dancers, professional dancers here. So the point is a message, and when it's the surprise element, like you talk about, is enough for people to just go. And then also we ask that everyone wear all black, and then we ask that everyone wear a blue ribbon, and we have the blue ribbon that we will show you where to get it. So everyone wears this tiny little blue ribbon to signify parental alienation. So then at the same time, that element also bring attention, because now you clearly see a group of people that wearing the same sort of, dress code, so things like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your organization, Victim to Hero. Tell me, how did it begin? And besides doing the flash mob, what sort of activities are you guys involved with?
Yeah, so I am an adult child of parental alienation. I was alienated from my father, and when I became aware of this problem, I was in my late 40s, and it was too late because my father had passed. So I never had the opportunity to have that relationship with my father, and this impacted really every aspect of my life. So I came from a film background, and I'm an indie filmmaker, and so I thought I would make a documentary film to share my story. And when you're a filmmaker, you wanted to tell your story from other people's perspective. So I thought I would find 5 people or so that have been through a situation like me, and get them to share their story, and then I would kind of put it together and make it a film. That way I can tell my story without me saying it, right? So that's what I thought. And I thought, oh, this should be a pretty quick and simple project. I just hope that if I could find 5 people, And this is the things that very common for victims, is that you feel like you're the only one that ever experienced this, because there's such a lack of public awareness that you don't even know what this thing is. And so you just thought, yeah, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe it's just me that experiences this. And what it does is it makes you feel so isolated and helpless. And so I thought, if I could just raise a bit of public awareness by making a film and tell my story. So and I remember thinking, gosh, I hope I can find 5 people, So I went online and I started posting and said, hey, I want to do this documentary film. And it's crazy, like within just the matter of days, I start getting thousands of people reaching out to me. And then I start interviewing these people, parents and children, that. And so by now I have interviewed over 1,000 people, both alienated parents and adult children of parental alienation. And so, back then, very quickly, I realized that this problem is so much bigger than I thought. It's so huge. And, as devastated as I was, I realized that there's so many people are impacted. And when you're talking to all these different people, the stories are shocking, because oh my God, it's just no end and things that you just couldn't imagine. You just think, God, like you can't even write a fictional story like this. So anyway, I thought about it, and I started to interview, psychiatrists, forensic psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, lawyers, judges, legislators. And then I thought, well, I can spend, a year because this film now suddenly become bigger than I thought. I can spend a year or 2 years to put this film together, or and when it finished, it would be like 90 minutes or whatever, and people can watch it and it'll be helpful, but it's not going to help enough. And so this is why I created Victim to Hero Institute, where I started to share my learning along the journey. And then that's how it became, the thing. And so with Victim to Hero Institute, what we do is we do, I guess, 3 main things. At one level is that we educate and empower victims. This is including, alienated parents and alienated children. And so educate and support, and by that we mean we have free programs every week where we bring in expert, or we discuss different topic, and we have support group, and we have Zoom conversation, that all sort of different activities and programs. And so far it's all free for all the victims and survivors. And, it cover, for example, like I said, we bring in forensic psychiatrists to come in and talk about how do you prove parental alienation? And we bring in lawyers and judges to say, how do you fight parental alienation in court? We bring in therapists to say, how do you heal? How do you deal with the grief of losing your children? How do you heal and deal with the grief that now that you're an adult and realize that you rejected your parents? How do you heal and thrive? And then how do you fight for your children? How do you connect with your children? All that kind of aspect. So there's that educational and support aspect of it when it comes to the victims level. And then the next level that we do is public awareness. So, for example, this Children First campaign is one of our public awareness campaign, but we've done many other campaigns. So, and then another ongoing campaign right now, for example, is called Boutless Love. And with this campaign, what we wanted to do is we wanted to do an art installation, and we asked parents and people from all around the world to physically mail heart cutouts to me in Los Angeles, and we have an address, and I would love to share that address for your audience. But essentially, we want people to send in heart cutouts. They can send as many as they want, and anybody can participate as long as they support this cause. And so the hearts that we are looking for are, about 2 inches or 5 centimeters for people that are using that system. And it can be any material. It can be paper, cardboard. Some people that send in glass. Some people send in plastic, wood. It can be decorated in any color, any way you want. Write any kind of messages you want. The only thing we ask is to not have any personal identifying information. So no photo, no full name, no phone number, email address, or anything like that. But you can send a message to yourself, to the world, to your children, to your parents, or whatever. Or you can leave it blank. It's up to you. But if you could put in the name of your where you're sending it from, because we wanted to collect 1,000 of these hats. And right now I have hundreds. I don't quite have 1,000 yet. But when we have 1,000, we wanted to put this art installation together that is 7 foot tall and 9 foot wide. And we want this to travel around the world to show this. And we're gonna hang these 1,000 hats with messages from people from all around the world. And this is the point: is we wanted to reach the public from an emotional level. And imagine standing there looking at these 1,000 hats from people that lost contact with their children or their parents, and looking at all these messages. I hope that it's going to be very touching. And so we want people, because you can use logic, you can use you can reach their intellectual level, and you can use like the law and things like that. You can use science, but I think reaching people is also very important to reaching people from the heart. So, we want to reach them through, art, music, dance, and things like that. And so that's why we think of the flash mob. Like I said, I'm an artist, so that's why I'm looking at this aspect of it. So yeah, so there's that campaign called Boutless Love. We've done film festival before. Like I said, we have that documentary film. Actually, the documentary film premiere just a few weeks ago, and I won Best Documentary, Best Director for the documentary film. It was premiere at a very prestigious theaters here in Hollywood, and as a part of the Golden State Film Festival. And I felt really honored to have won that award, but at the same time, it helped raise, the recognition for the film. And so the film is called Parental Alienation: The Aftermath, and it looked at the impact of parental alienation, the long-term impact on the children. And so we have adult children, like survivor, who come in and share their story and talk about what happened behind the closed doors when they were children, what it was like when they were being used as weapons and tools in parental conflict. And so that's one of our another of our public awareness campaign. So we do all sort of things like that. So at the public level, so that's the second thing. And the final third thing that we do is we wanted to make system change. So with that, we lobby for law changes. We support other people that lobby for. So we ourselves lobby for specific bills that we wanted to change into the law. We also support other organizations that they themselves lobby for different, in different jurisdiction, things like that. I do, workshop and education training for legislators, lawyers, judges, therapists. I've been to a lot of Capitol buildings, and, I went to talk to the Congress. I went to DC and talked to the Congress. I met with a lot, like, for example, next week. It's funny because yesterday I was talking to people in my team, and we look at the calendar next week. Every single day, we have a meeting scheduled with one of the legislators that that we're trying to push these bills, and so we're really trying to do all these three things, to help the victim, empower them so that they can save themselves, and to do public awareness so that we could hopefully change this, to get this recognized as a crime. And then we also wanted to change the system, so we wanted to change the law, we want to change the way judges and lawyers and therapists look at this problem, because we do need them to change as well. So that's what Victim to Heroes Institute is about. In the behind the scene, we also do research. So I'm also involved with the University of Tasmania, the Department of Psychology, from the medicine school. And with that, we do research and looking at the triggers and reunification pathway for parents and children of parental alienation. So so we're doing a lot of different things.
Yeah, you certainly have a lot going on. The Boundless Love, where people can send you hearts, and you're going to put that in art installation. It'd be great if if you could get that to travel to the different Capitol buildings, where the legislators could certainly see those thousands of hearts. That would, I think, make a huge emotional impact on them. And you have your documentary. Where can people watch the documentary at? Yeah,
so right now the documentary film is, so with film, there are sort of like, for people that are not familiar with the film life, there are kind of two parts of it. The first part is is what they call festival circuit. That means that you have your film finished and then you go to different film festival, because this is more like sort of exclusive the industry viewing. So yeah, so right now it's in the festival circuit. We got accepted in 3 festivals so far. This weekend we at another festival. It's called the Universe Multicultural Film Festival. So this weekend it's going to be at another festival. And then the second part of the film life is to get distribution. So right now we're talking to distributors. We're hoping to get onto some kind of network so that it can get distribution for people to view it. But even if this doesn't work, then we'll go for distributions ourselves. So maybe we'll put it on. Ultimately, there will be a way for people to view it, and maybe we will even put it on YouTube. If we can't get onto some network. But at the same time, while we're talking to distributors, you can't release it out to the public while you're talking to distributor, because you want them to get the right to the film. We are allowed to do private screenings. So right now we actually have a form. Again, it's on our Facebook page, Victim to Hero. For people that wanted to participate in the private screening. And the same thing, we have a form there. People can fill in and let us know which city they are. Because we wanted to see, which city we have the most audience, so that we can go to that city and have the private screening for people to view it. So yeah, so that form, and the same thing, we're gonna travel around the world with this film to have these private screening around. I think right now we're looking at quite a lot of cities that we are scheduling. So if they fill in the form, we can notify them, when and where to see it. Another thing is, like we have a mailing list on our website, victimtohero.com. You can join the mailing list. Is right on the top, on the right-hand side of the website. And that's also a way of, staying in touch, because we'll notify our subscribers of, all these different activities so they don't miss out.
Yeah, and I'm on your website now. It's victimtohero.com, and there certainly is a lot of information on here. So if you're out there watching this, highly recommend you head over to the web and type in victimtohero.com and see all the great information that's there. And also get involved. You can put your email in and join the list, and also contact you through the site. And it looks like you're doing a lot of really great work. And is there anything else that we want to talk about?
No, thank you so much. I mean, really, like you said, so far, for example, a lot of things actually is on our Facebook more than on our website. Like on Facebook, we've done like over hundreds of events and webinar and things like that already. And like I said, everything's free and publicly available. So, if people are looking for something, chances are we have covered that topic. So go on our Facebook and go on our Facebook page. If you click on a videos tab, you can search for the topic that you're looking for. The other thing I wanted to say is we have a workbook that's available on Amazon for people that are still fighting in court. It's called it's called Diagnosing Parental Alienation, the 5-factor workbook. And this is a workbook that is based on the forensic psychology model called 5-factor model to diagnose parental alienation. What this workbook does is it helps you structure your case, because that's the thing is, when for people that are still fighting in court, they will know this, is that they overwhelmed with evidence and data. Normally you have like pages and pages of text messages over years of the dispute over the custody of the child, or if you're finding the false allegations, the same thing. You usually have too much stuff. And the challenge is, how do you organize this, and how do you present your case in a way that the judge and people that watching this in your case will see it, whether it's a guardian ad litem or, custody evaluator or parenting coordinator. How do you present your case in a way that is clearly, they can see it, that this is parental alienation? And that's why some parents will make the mistake of attempting to present their evidence chronologically. But this is really overwhelming, because people are not going to have enough attention span, especially with court judges. They have very limited time for their big docket of many cases. So how do we capture their attention? So that's why we create this workbook to help parents structure their case based on this forensic model. And that way it forces you to sort and organize your evidence in a way that clearly structure and also make you think about what really matters, what is important, because you need to be able to present your case succinctly and really clearly structured. So, and even for people that whether they have lawyers or they don't have a lawyer, whether they wanted to use the term parental alienation or not, the model is still like really important. And this model is not something that we develop. It's developed by the scientific community, but we just developed this workbook to help you to put this model into practice. So it's available on Amazon for anyone wanted to get it. I think if you have something, I'm not very familiar, but you know, it can be free for you on Amazon, or if not, I think it's like $2 or $3. I'm not sure, but it's very inexpensive and available there. So definitely encourage parents to check it out. And then for people that are out there that are facing parental alienation, I would say before I go, I would definitely wanted to say that I truly empathize for what you are going through. What you are going through is horrific. It is really probably one of the most horrific things that anybody has to endure, whether you are the targeted parent or whether you are the adult child of parental alienation. You probably feel isolated, you probably feel helpless and hopeless. And so I just wanted to say that you are not alone. And be compassionate to yourself, because what you are experiencing is really, really big deal. It's really, it's so unfair. But at the same time, recognize that you are a lot more powerful than you give yourself credit for. You can fight this. You can win this. And the battle may not be in court. The battle, you know, and it's not a one-day thing. It's a big, long-term thing. This is your life. So don't give up on this. Don't give up on your children. Don't give up on yourself. Forgive yourself, be compassionate, and definitely find a way to educate yourself, surround yourself with the right people so that you can feel empowered, because you can fight this and things may not be the way that you expected. Because, you know, when you have your children and you have certain anticipation of how raising your children is going to be like and all that, and you might have missed, you know, birthday and graduation and all these different important milestones, and maybe you look at your children, they're not the same anymore. You know, these loving and happy and healthy children now turn into, you know, really cold and defiant and rude, you know, but things may never go back the way they were, but they can go so much better. And I know this, I've seen this in my case, I've seen it in many other cases. You can rebuild, and really, truly, things can be magical. Look at this as a test in your life, a test that you can ace, you can truly ace. So I just wanted to leave that message of hope.
Yeah, that's a fantastic message. And just to go back a little bit, on Amazon, the workbook, Diagnosing Parental Alienation, the 5-Factor Model Workbook. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free for you. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it's very inexpensive. It's only $3.50. So we'll have a link to that in the show notes here. And we'll also have a link to your Facebook page and to your website where people can go and get involved. And thank you so much for coming on today. You've given us so much information here to think about, and I wish you the best with all these flash mobs. I can't wait to see these coming across social media, and I hope some of the folks listening to this decide to get involved with you on that, because it is a fantastic way to bring attention to the cause. So thank you again so much for all the work that you're doing and for coming on today.
Thank you so much.